We all go through seasons where we feel an abundance of motivation, then something happens. We feel burnt out or tend to lose that drive, but don't let this stop you from living your dream. It is okay, and it's normal to feel this way. Once that happens, it is up to you to find that momentum again and gain the motivation you are looking for. I don't know about you, but when I feel unmotivated, I feel useless. I feel empty and almost like a zombie. If you surround yourself with inspiring people and positivity, I guarantee you that you will find your motivation. If you allow yourself to be drawn to negativity and you stay there, negativity will always surround and consume you. When you fall, you just have to get back up and try again. You have to tell yourself that you cannot give up when something doesn't go as planned. If you're passionate about something, you will not allow yourself to give up. Without struggle, there is no progress. Work hard, stay passionate, and stay motivated. Today I have with me Josh Emerick, and he's the next episode for the Staying Motivated video series that I'm doing. So Josh, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of tell us what you do.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Josh to Josh.
Right.
I guess I describe myself as a director of photography and producer. Do a ton of video content, but I guess what I see myself as is an entrepreneur. That word has kind of a negative stigma around it, but being a DP and a producer is kind of the skill sets I have and how I run business. And I produce a lot of music videos. I work on commercial projects, do a little bit of weddings, and focus on trying to not just do good work, but lead a team and teach people. And I thrive off of human connection. So I guess that's me.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and I've seen a bunch of your music videos, so you definitely know what you're doing in that aspect for sure.
I appreciate it. I've been doing it for a little bit now. It hasn't always been the case, but it took. It's even funny. With music videos, I feel like I was just chomping to get the opportunity for so many years, and then when the right opportunity came up, it was just oh yes, this is it. I finally have it, and this is my time to shine. Oh my God, what do I do now? So. It's definitely progressed a lot. It started at a place of just absolute passion and hunger for it, and now it's gotten to where it feels a lot more there's a lot more method and process to it.
So why music videos?
Well, as I'm sure you can relate, I once was a scene kid and enjoyed going to shows, and I'm from Zanesville. Zanesville actually used to have a really great music scene out here. And I just saw a lot of friends that were in bands that just really were chasing that dream. I just remember back in the day when it seemed bands the Devil Wears Prada and Before Their Eyes got their shot, and it was oh my God, a couple years before that, it just didn't seem like it was as likely to get those opportunities. And just seeing the music scene kind of grow and seeing my friends get some of those opportunities, it was the passion that they had for music really was intoxicating, because it felt like a family. And I never played any instruments. I just got to see their drive for that. And I always wish, I did video back then, but I always wished I had the opportunity to kind of add some sort of value to them. And some years passed, and I got a little bit more serious about video. And then I was all right, how do I get my shot in here? And one of my best friends ended up having a new band. Was hey, you want to shoot a music video? I know you've been really getting good at this video thing. And that was my first shot. And then, through the years, you meet other people, and other people open doors, and you realize how important the impression you make with other people can be, more so than the quality of work. And I think that's kind of where it's all really grounded. So.
So the next one, just kind of in general, not like typical, not like necessarily during this whole pandemic thing, but what motivates you?
It's a tricky question because manifesting motivation is like, I think it comes down to the emotional level of things, but like it was like probably like 2018, like for years I told myself like the lie of like, I gotta work really hard, and if I work really hard, I'm gonna eventually have the downtime to be able to enjoy time with my family. Like, I'm doing all this for my family. I'm doing all this because like I wanna be able to support them so I can spend time with them, so I can take vacations with them, all that sort of stuff we tell ourselves as business owners. And like I even like was like the most out of shape I had ever been. Like I gained more weight than possible, and like in 2018, like I started to like really look at myself and wonder like, am I actually a failure in all this business? Because for so long, I always told myself the long game is what will pay off. Like the people I see that like get lucky kind of quick, they tend to fall off, and I'm like, the long game, the perseverance, the consistency is what's going to like pay off for me. In 2018, I just kind of felt like I had lost all hope, and I kind of stopped believing in myself. I've always believed in myself of like, you just stay consistent, like something good's gonna happen. You just gotta stay there. And like I wasn't happy with my physical health. I wasn't happy with like my relationship with my wife. I wasn't happy with like how I felt like I had let down a lot of my freelancers because we didn't have as much work coming in. 2018 was a really rough year for business, but also like I didn't love myself. I hated myself. I hated looking at myself. Like I had a lot of negative narrative in my head. And like for a long time, I was working out of the headspace of like, I'm gonna prove everyone wrong that like, I can come from a small town, I can do great things, and like, I know I'm worth people's time. And you can work from a place of like proving people wrong for so long, and then you're gonna burn out. And you gotta start to do things that like kind of feel right with yourself. So I started just with diet, like that was like the first thing was like, I really clung on to intermittent fasting and started looking into like what I was eating. And, over a year I dropped like 40 pounds, but more than anything, like just making good decisions for myself and building some good habits created this idea of self-love. And, like I felt selfish doing things for myself for a long time. I thought if you do stuff for yourself, it's really a selfish thing. And I think more people need to be selfish about their health, about their love. And starting that habit of eating well started making me look into like, just listen to different podcasts, reading different books about like relationship and like realizing that in business, I always had this idea of like never stop improving. But in my relationship, I had gotten really complacent. In my health, I had got really complacent. In business, I had got like a little bit complacent. Starting with that like health thing, I like my diet, like I wanted to be healthier so that I can live longer for my son, so I can be there for my wife, so that like, as someone who's selling my business, like if I can't take care of myself, how can I take care of my client? So for me, it was like, that was the keystone habit that I like just kind of took serious to be like, okay, if I do this, then I'll start to feel better about myself. And once I started doing that, I started taking my relationship more serious. I started taking my business more serious. And I kind of just rediscovered like, there's a lot of me flavor to my business that I'm not actually implementing in. Like I was really chasing quality and proving people wrong. And I realized like people work with me because they like me, because they like who I am. And I need to be leaning into that more. And it really motivated me in the sense of like, I need to be the best version of me to keep being me. I don't know, like that's a weird answer. Like if it's like a day-to-day basis, like that's a big answer to that. Like, but from a day-to-day basis, I think it's just knowing yourself. Everybody's a little bit different. Like I'm a structure person. Like time is really important to me, but like when I can like map out my day and be in control of my time instead of like time being in control of me, it's when I kind of feel the best. And it's because I know other people depend on me to like have certain things laid out, and that makes me feel good. Now, on the flip side of that, it's like surrounding yourself with people like and other ideas. Like when I'm reading a good book or I'm listening to a podcast or even watching a film that I'm inspired by, like that can be highly motivating. When I'm seeing other friends do like really great work and like, even in this current situation, one of the really awesome things I've seen is I've seen a lot of my friends like that are content creators of some sort of doing whatever that have just been sharing a lot of like words of wisdom that I like, or trying to help other businesses, or just trying to add value. And I think like because of this situation, it's forced us to all slow down and connect a little bit more and like share more. So, sorry, long form to this answer.
No, you're totally fine. What helps you stay motivated when you start feeling unmotivated?
I think I love the easiest thing is like a to-do list. I make a daily to-do list, and like it's easy to write something down and check it off and feel good about it. But like when you can, for me, like I really love to do it chronologically. Like this is something I even did back when I like worked at the old retail job. I would always come in and make like a work list, and I'd like list it from 1 to 5 on like a priority of like, here's all the things that have to happen first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And the fourth and fifth stuff, if we don't get it done today, that goes on to tomorrow. If it doesn't make it after a couple days, that stuff's not important. That's like always a quick way for me to just have some sense of control. And if I have some sense of control of my life, that helps with my motivation levels like so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get a tremendous sense of value of just getting things done. And if I don't get things done, like it drives me nutty. Like my wife, when she has an off day, like she's fine with staying in the PJs, but like I'm almost always dressed, and like I know my mind, like my mind is triggered to be productive when I get dressed, put my shoes on, like just make myself presentable.
Yeah.
And like Jess has just been like, why are you like literally getting dressed every single day? When I'm like, I know, like I don't want to feel like crap. Like I start to get depressed. I start to feel crappy. Like, even in running my own business, like there have been days that like I might be like, I'll leave the gym shorts on today and just edit in the office. And I notice I'm not as productive.
Wow.
And I'm like, I got to go put pants on. Like I know, and it sounds silly, but it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
And just my attitude, it just signals to my brain like, oh, we're doing something right now.
Yeah.
And, I think that stems back to like, even childhood, like my dad was always adamant of like, you get up early, you get ready, you do your day. Like he was always like a simple habit in the morning, like makes a big difference. Like making your bed, like can't always make the bed, but like I can get up, drink a couple bottles of water, like get dressed and get ready for my day, make myself a cup of coffee and have some personal time. Those are a few things I can do that just like make me feel in control of my day. And it's like my time, making my time, my personal time. One of the things I do feel that I've lacked in this whole current situation is just like alone time. Like I live in Zanesville, I do a lot of work in Columbus. It's like an hour drive. When I can have like those hour drives to just be able to like be in the car and be alone with my thoughts and like reflect, that's super therapeutic for me. And while I have had some time to do that during this situation, I haven't had as much time. So I kind of miss my car rides. Like car rides are just my place for my thoughts.
What advice do you have for staying motivated?
Again, I think it just kind of comes down to like the knowing yourself sort of thing. Like consistently doing it, it's easy. Like I'll speak from the business standpoint of like, it's been very easy for me to look at it long game. Like I feel very blessed with the fact of I've never been like the instant gratification, like hype of like, oh my God, I'm going to start something today and it's going to be successful in a month. Like I've always known that it was going to take me years upon years upon years to build my reputation, to build my business, to build who I am, to like earn those skill sets, to earn the credibility. And, like there's this idea of like earned confidence. Like once you do things over enough times, you start to feel a little bit more confident with that. And I think that plays into motivation. Like I'm motivated if I can, if I start to feel crappy, I know like 3 days of me doing like consistent to-do lists is going to bring me out of my mood. And like, you might be like, 3 days? Well, that's better than 2 weeks of depression. You know, like I've been there. You know, I've been like, I know when I was out of tune with my emotions of like, why do I feel crappy? Like one of the exercises that I used to do back in the day, and when people were like, I feel crappy, but I don't know why, like make a to-do list, like not a to-do list, but make a list of like, if you go through a week and you make a list of like when you feel bad and like, hey, I feel bad right now, write down and then start to dissect like what's happened in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes that's maybe contributed to that. And once you do that enough times, you can kind of look at like, oh, here's all the things that make me feel bad. Maybe walking past the dishes 3 times and realizing I wish the dishes was done. How do I make that go away? Clean the dishes. So I keep using that analogy, but like it is as simple as that. And like just being in tune with yourself. I don't know. It's tricky. Like with like business, I think it's always just been like staying consistent, knowing that I need to show up every day. And like, if I start to not show up, like I'm going to lose some of my momentum, like personally for my business, for my team, for whatever I'm doing. And like, I know how to manufacture that consistency. And a lot of that for me comes down to, you know, using tools that keep me organized. That's like my calendar. That's my notes app. That's, you know, like I'm a notoriously bad writer, but I try to write a lot. Like that's one of my weak points. So like I have Grammarly. Grammarly helps me out. It makes me able to write. So
I love Grammarly, you know, like much.
Dude, it is the best thing ever. Like that's our plug for the podcast right now.
Yeah. I have it on my laptop and I have it on my phone. So
dude, it's great. Like I don't know. Like to me, like having systems, tools, whatever you want to call it, just things in place that help keep me kind of in tune, helps keep me motivated. Like it all stems back to like how I feel. You know, like if I eat crappy food, like I'm not going to feel good. And if I don't feel good, I'm not going to do good work. I'm not going to do good things. And I don't know, like it's knowing when you need to push harder, and it's knowing when you need to also relax. It's knowing when like you feel bad and how you get out of feeling bad. Like I think like I can give all the advice in the world of like, here's what does it for me. But like as humans, like we're all different, you know, like we all react differently to different stressors, situations. And I think the most important thing is like not to just like take my advice, but, you know, like get in tune with yourself. Start to think about like what makes me happy, what kind of is like something that makes me feel bad, what's something I'm willing to like push through. And like even in like in a creative endeavor, like realizing, I think for me in business, like I'm not good at everything, but there are some things that I'm naturally very good at, and there are things that like I know other people are better at, like learning to delegate. Like, you know, like for years, like the writing thing really held me back for a long time. And I would rely on Ross to do that because he's just naturally a better writer than me. So like, I'd feel guilty like pushing those things off on him. So that's kind of why I invested in Grammarly, because I'm like, now I can write. Dude. I don't know, like it's just knowing yourself.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on and doing this.
Absolutely.